plant diversity. Diversity mean variety, variation from other group of plants. Variety, character is present in every plant. That characters are mainly helps in identification. Identification characters with diversity in plants is called plant diversity. What is diversity? Diversity is a commitment to recognizing and appreciating the variety of characteristics. That characteristics that makes individuals unique in an atmosphere that promotes and celebrate individual and collective achievement. Diversity, nothing but it is the variety character. That variety of character is helps in recognizing. That variety character helps in recognizing. At the same time, it is helps in appreciating, and it promotes to plant kingdom. Individual all plants, every plant of plant kingdom having their own variety of character. Their own variety of character easily recognizing and easily appreciating. That is the diversity. Then in plant diversity, we observe the plant evolution. Plant evolution from this diagram, see these are the ancestral green algae. Ancestral green algae are called Caurophyceae. The Caurophyceae plants are ancestral of the plant kingdom. Ancestral means four parents. Four parents of plant kingdom. The plant groups are called Caurophyceans. Caurophyceae. The Caurophyceae well developed in the aquatic region. Caurophyceae well developed in aquatic region. That aquatic regions are mainly two types. One is marine aquatic region and fresh aquatic region. Slightly from these ancestor plants of plant kingdom, bryophytes are developed. Later pteridophytes are developed. Later gymnosperms, angiosperms. Angiosperms and gymnosperms are combinedly called seed plants. The seed plants contain vascular system. So these are also called vascular plants. Vascular plants developed on the terrestrial region. See, on the terrestrial region means on the plants developed on the land surface called land plants. Land plants are bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. And pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms are called vascular plants. Seed plants are called gymnosperms and angiosperms. So these are the total plant kingdom and plant evolution with plant diversity. Caurophyceans developed in which region? Only in aquatic region. That aquatic region, mainly two types. One is fresh aquatic region. Second one is marine aquatic region. So these are developed only in water. Later, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. These are developed in land. So these plants are called land plants. And from these plants, pteridophyta, gymnosperms, angiosperms, these are containing vascular bundles, xylem and phloem. The xylem and phloem tissues are present in the pteridophyta, present in the gymnosperms, present in the angiosperms. So these three group of plants are called vascular plants or tracheophyta, tracheophytes. And in gymnosperms and in angiosperms, seeds are developed. So these two group of plants are called seed plants. It is the plant diversity, general diagram of plant diversity. See here it is, except ancestral plants. Land plant evolution, land plant diversity. Land plant diversity developed from ancestral green algae. Ancestral means four parents of the plant kingdom. Four parents of the plant kingdom are early developed plants on the universe. Early developed plants on the universe called ancestral or four parents of the plant kingdom. Ancestral green plants or green algae developed in only aquatic regions. So these plants are all also called aquatic plants. Why we call aquatic plants? That plants developed in only aquatic regions. So we called aquatic plants. The primitive or ancestral aquatic plants group is called Caurophyceans. Caurophyceans means Cyanophyceae, Chlorophyceae, Xanthophyceae, Phaeophyceae, Rhodophyceae. From Cyanophyceae to Rhodophyceae, all plants are developed in only aquatic region. The aquatic region ancestral plants group is called Caurophycean. Caurophycean means aquatic plants are also called ancestral plants. Then from these Caurophyceans, land plants are developed. Then land plants are also shows diversity. Diversity means all land plants are not in similar. And before that, Caurophyceans are also not in similar structure, not in similar color, not in similar function. See, Caurophyceans developed in aquatic region. The Caurophyceans are also shows diversity. The diversity is blue-green algae. They are blue-green in color. Chlorophyceae dark green in color. Xanthophyceae yellow-green in color. Phaeophyceae brown-green in color. Rhodophyceae red-green in color. These are the Caurophycean group of plants. Caurophyceans are aquatic ancestors, but they cannot in similar structure. They shows diversity. Some algae, some ancestrals are blue-green. Some ancestrals are dark green. Some ancestrals are yellow-green. Some ancestrals are brown-green. Some ancestrals are red-green in color. It is the diversity of Caurophyceans. And from these Caurophyceans, land plants are developed. The land plants are shows diversity, more complex of diversity. The land plants shows different diversities on their plant bodies. See, we discussed in the land plants development of vascular tissues, development of seeds, development of flowering plants. These are the advanced character, advanced diversities of the land plants. Now, Caurophyceans are closest relative of land plants. Closest relative of land plants means land plants are developed from only Caurophyceans. Land plants are developed from only Caurophyceans. So these are closest relative of land plants. Land plant four parents are called Caurophyceans. So the land plants developed from only from the Caurophyceans. And algal group means Caurophyceans, different similarities with land plants. What are the similarities here? It is rosette cellulose synthesizing complexes located in plasma membrane. Peroxisomes are present in the land plants, in the algal plants. Flagellated sperms are present in the land plants and in the aquatic plants. These are the similarities, few similarities present between Caurophyceans and land plants. Then land plants shows different diversities. The land plants diversity are groups, mainly four types. Four main groups of land plants. One is bryophytes, second one is pteridophytes, third one is gymnosperms, fourth one is angiosperms. Bryophytes are the first landing plants. First landing plants are called bryophytes without a vascular system. There is no vascular system. So these plants are called non-vascular plants. The bryophytes are also shows diversity with mosses, liverworts, hornworts. Mosses means some bryophytes are developed as a group of community of plants called bryophytes. That bryophyte of group called mosses. Some bryophytes are look like a liver-like structure, human body liver-like structure. So human body liver-like structure plants are called liverworts. Some bryophytes are look like a hornworts, thrones, hornworts are present. See mosses example Polytrichum and Funaria, liverworts example Marconicia, hornworts example Anthoceras. See these are diversity of the bryophytes. Diversity of bryophytes. And comes to the pteridophyta. Pteridophyta also called first true landing plants. True means they contains vascular system. Pteridophytes are contain vascular system. The vascular system is present in the pteridophyta. So these pteridophytes are called first true landing plants. See, true landing plants are only pteridophyta. First landing plants are called bryophyta. Why we called true in the pteridophyta? Vascular system. Xylem and phloem developed in the pteridophyta plants. So these plants are called first true landing plants. But seeds are absent in this. So these plants are called seedless plants. Seedless plants. And these are also shows diversity. Lycophytes, ferns, horsetails, and whisk ferns. Lycophytes completely green in color, ferns like green in color, horsetails, horse tail structure, whisk fern like structures. These are the diversity of pteridophytes. And comes to the gymnosperms. Gymnosperms are also group of land plants. These are developed plants. These are containing vascular system with naked seeds. And one important point in this, naked seeds are present. So these plants are called naked seed plants. Gymno means naked, sperms means seeds. Naked seeds are developed in the gymnosperms. Naked seeds are developed in the gymnosperms. Fruits are absent. Important point here is fruits are absent, but seeds are developed. After fertilization, ovule direct develop into seed. So seeds are developed, direct naked seeds are developed in the gymnosperms. So it is the one diversity of land group of plant. And these gymnosperms again shows diversity. Here it is ginkgo, cycads, Nitae, conifers. Ginkgo is the living plant and cycads are shows palm-like trees. Palm means unbranched trunks are present. Unbranched trunk means they look like a boraces like tati, eta like plants. And on this terminal part of the branch, leaves are developed. Nitae, they shows normal plant of diversity. Conifers, cone-like structures of diversity. These are the diversity of the gymnosperms. And in angiosperms, flowers. Angiosperms belongs to dicotyledons and monocotyledons. Dicotyledons and monocotyledons are commonly called angiosperms. In angiosperms, vascular system is present, seeds are present, fruits also present, and flowers also develop. So these are the diversity of the land plants. From these four group of land plants, different types of diversity. Bryophyte shows one type of diversity. Pteridophyte shows another type of diversity. Gymnosperms shows another type of diversity. Angiosperms also shows diversity. We can easily find that land plants, which are angiosperms, which are gymnosperms, which are pteridophytes, which are bryophytes. How to identify these diversity? Based on the external characters. The plant shows diversity. The diversity is helps in the identification of plants and adaptations of land plants. Adaptations of land plants. Here it is some of adaptations. Apical meristems. Meristem means continuously participated in the division. With the presence of meristem in apical part of root, apical part of shoot, it helps in growth of plant. So meristem continuously participated. Which meristem here it is? Apical meristem continuously participated in the division. It present in the terminal part of root. It present in the terminal part of shoot. And these meristems, apical meristems, are participated in the division. They are helps in growth of plant, growth of land plants. And multicellular structures are present in the embryo. And dependent embryos are developed in the land plants. So these plants are also called, land plants are also called embryophytes. Embryophytes means embryos are developed. That embryos need food material. That embryos need food material. That needed food materials are collected from the parental plants with the help of transfer of nutrients with xylem and phloem. The xylem and phloems are helps in the transportation of minerals, nutrients from parent to embryos. And alternation of generations. Alternation of generations means in land plants, sporophyte is in diploid condition, gametophyte is in haploid condition. In every plant life cycle of land plants, alternation of generations are present. Alternation of generations. Alternation of generation means gametophyte alternate with sporophyte. Sporophyte alternate with gametophyte. Gametophyte completed their life cycle and it developed into sporophyte. Sporophyte completed their life cycle and developed into gametophyte. These are alternate in life cycle of land plants. So these life cycles are called alternation of generations, alternation of life cycle. And gametangia. Gametangia means gametes. Gametes are produced within the multicellular organs, like male gametes, female gametes. Female gametes are called archegonia, and male gametes are developed from antheridia. Female gametes developed from archegonium or archegonia. Male gametes are developed from the antheridium. These are developed from the haploid gametophytic plant. And walled spores. Walled spores are developed in the sporophyte. They are resist drying out. If they are dried, they are in healthy condition. Resisted to dried out, and plants are covered cuticle. Cuticle is mainly made with waxy covering. Waxy covering is present. It helps in conservation of water. It helps in conservation of water. If wax coat is present on the plant surface, water is stored in their plant body only. So water is cannot evaporated from the plant by covering of wax coat, that is cuticle. And second point in this, stomata. In plants, stomatas are present. The stomatas are called pores. The pores mainly helps in exchange of gases. They are also helps in water conservation. Water conservation is also controlled by the stomata. And vascular tissues. Vascular tissues means xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem tissues are present in the plant body. They are helps in transport of water with help of xylem, transport of minerals with the help of phloem, and these are the vascular tissue. These are the adaptations in the land plants. And at the same time, these adaptations are shows diversity. Here it is the plant diversity complete table. Mainly the plant diversity divided into two major groups. One is Thallophyta and is differentiated plant body. Thallophyta is not differentiated into plant body. Plant body having root system, shoot system, leaves. These are absent in the thallophytes. If the plant body differentiated into root system, shoot, leaf, they are divided into two types. One is bryophyta, another one is vascular tissues. Bryophytes are the first landing plants, but they didn't have any vascular system. And with vascular system, plants are two types. One is pteridophytes and spermatophytes. Pteridophytes, they are having vascular tissues. Vascular tissues means xylem and phloem. In pteridophytes, vascular tissues are present, but seeds are absent. In this spermatophyta means seeds. Spermato means seed producing plants, produced seeds. So these group of plants are called spermatophytes. The spermatophytes are containing vascular system. The spermatophytes are again two types. One is gymnosperms, second one is angiosperms. Gymnosperms means naked, beard, naked seeds, but fruits are absent. And beard seeds inside the fruit. Here it is fruits are present, here it is fruits are absent. In gymnosperms, fruits are absent, but seeds are developed in the naked condition. In angiosperms, fruits are present, fruits containing seeds. So seeds are developed inside the fruit, and these are containing vascular system. Angiosperms are having two types. One is dicotyledons, one is monocotyledon. Dicotyledons containing two cotyledons in the seeds, monocotyledon containing single cotyledon in the seed. It is the overall review of land plant diversity. Based on these characters, we can easily find and we can easily recognize that plants belongs to bryophyte, thallophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperms, angiosperms like dicotyledons and monocotyledons. Here it is characteristics of thallophyta. What are the characters? Here it is, they are usually found in moist or wet places. Wet places or moist places, thallophyta are observed. And the next point, this is due to the absence of true roots. It means in the thallophyta, true roots are absent. So true roots are absent, vascular tissues are absent, but they needed transport water minerals. So needed transport water minerals, hence they are found in the moisture places and wet places. So they didn't need about the vascular tissues because they are always on the moisture condition. They are always on the wet condition. The next point about the thallophyta, they are autotrophic in nature. Autotrophic means they can selfly prepare own food material by the photosynthesis. So they are in autotrophic. Some autotrophic cannot prepare own food material because they didn't have any chloroplast like fungi. But autotrophic fungi, autotrophic algae prepared food material by the photosynthesis. Most of members of this group manufacture their own food by photosynthesis like algae, but few members of like fungi, they are dependent on other source of food because the fungi need food material. They didn't have any chloroplast, so they cannot prepare own food material. But algae, they can prepare own food material by photosynthesis. And reserve food material is generally starch. The reserve food material is starch in the thallophyta plants. After photosynthesis, glucose is produced and consumed almost immediately. The remaining glucose, if any glucose is present in the plant body, that glucose is converted into complex compound called starch. Generally, after photosynthesis, glucose is formed. It is the food material. The food material is utilized by the plants. Utilized means consumed by the plants. Almost which amount of food material is prepared, that amount of food material is consumed by the plants. Sometimes stored or rest of the glucose convert into starch. And they have cell wall composed with cellulose around their cells. All plants of Thallophyta, cell wall is present. The cell wall is composed by cellulose, hemicellulose around the cell walls. And absence of vascular tissues. Vascular tissues are absent. Vascular tissues means xylem and phloem tissues are absent in the Thallophyta. The plant body cannot differentiate it into root system, shoot system, but it is in green color. That green color parts are called Thallophyta. And unlike the plants, xylem, phloem tissues are absent. These are the vascular tissues. The vascular tissues are completely absent in the Thallophyta division. And sex organs. Sex organs in simple structure. They are in single celled. There is no embryo formation after fertilization. Only zygote is formed. Zygote is single cell and it directly participated in the meiotic division. It developed into again single cell haploid thallus. It is the characteristics of the Thallophyta. And it comes to the general characters of the Pteridophyta. So, Pteridophytas are, they are seedless plants, and they are multicellular structures. They are reproduced through spores, and they are independent and free living organisms. They have wall differentiated plant body into root, stem, leaves. So these are the advanced character, diversitical characters in the pteridophytes. Before the pteridophyta, Thallophyta is there. Thallophyta after bryophytes. Bryophyta after pteridophytes. In bryophytes also thallus is there. So they are also belongs to thallus, Thallophyta. Thallophyta, bryophyta containing only green color structure. Green color structure. But important point is in Thallophyta and bryophyta, well-developed stage is gametophyte stage. Sporophyte stage is reduced condition. But in pteridophyta, sporophyte stage is well developed. Sporophyte stage is well developed. Gametophyte stage is in reduced condition. Gametophyte stage is in reduced condition. And next one is characteristics of the gymnosperms. Diversitical characters of gymnosperms. See, following characters are important characters of gymnosperms. They do not produce flowers. They do not produce flowers, means flowers are absent in the gymnosperms. Seeds are not formed inside the fruit. They are in naked condition. Gymno means naked seeds are developed. Gymno means naked seeds are developed. And they are found in colder regions where snowfall occurs. All gymnosperms are well developed in only cold regions like Himalayas, like coastal regions, cold temperature regions. Cold temperature regions are containing gymnosperms of environment, and they developed needle-like leaves in all types of gymnosperms. Majority of the gymnosperms containing needle-like leaves, and they are perennial. Perennial means they are developed in continuation years, not in 1 year, not in 2 years. They are developed, they are observed in all years of the environment, and they are woody, forming trees and bushes. Woody means trunk, main trunk is present. Woody trunk, strong trunk is present. Forming trees and bushes are present in the gymnosperms. They are not differentiated into ovary, style, stigma. The reproductive organs, these are the reproductive organs. The reproductive organs cannot differentiate it into ovary, style, and stigma. Since stigma is absent, they are pollinated directly by wind only, not insect pollination, not different types of other cross pollinations. Only wind pollination will occurs in the gymnosperms. The male gametophyte produce two gametes, means the pollen grains is act as a male gametophyte. The pollen grain produce only two gametes. From the two gametes, only one is important, that is functional gamete, and rest of that is reduced. And they form cones with reproductive structures. Reproductive structures are male cones, female cones. Just we observed in the pinus male cone, pinus female cone, neatum male cone, neatum female cone. And the seeds containing endosperm that stores food for the growth and the development of plant. Endosperm is present in the seeds. It helps in the development of plant. And these plants are vascular tissues. Vascular tissues means they containing xylem and phloem, which help in the transportation of nutrients and water. And the xylem does not have vessels, and phloem has no companion cells and sieve tubes. These are present in the angiosperms. These are absent in the gymnosperms. What are absent in the gymnosperms? Xylem vessels and xylem vessels, companion cells and sieve tubes are completely absent in the gymnosperms. And next comes to the angiosperms. Angiosperms, here it is two types. One is monocots and dicots. Monocots and dicots. Monocots, dicot differentiation, here it is. Angiosperms containing fruits. Fruits are present in this. Inside the fruit, seeds are present. That fruit containing plants are called angiosperms. Angiosperms are two types. One is monocots and dicots. Monocots are having these characters. Dicots are having these characters. Let's discuss these characters. Monocots. Embryo with single cotyledon in monocotyledon. In dicotyledon, embryo with two cotyledons. And flower pods are three in monocotyledon, means trimerous. Trimerous flowers are present in the monocotyledon. 4 or 5 mean tetra or pentamerous flowers are present in the dicotyledons. In monocotyledon, major leaf veins are parallel. Parallel venation is present in the monocotyledon. In dicotyledon, reticulate venation of leaves are present. And in monocotyledon, stem containing vascular bundles scattered. Scattered vascular bundles means they are distributed around the stem, around the internal structure of stem. But in dicotyledons, vascular bundles are arranged in a ring like structure in the dicotyledons. Roots are adventitious in the monocotyledons. Roots are tap roots, mainly tap roots are developed. The tap root system developed from radicle. Tap root developed from the radicle. Radicle is the part of embryo. So radicle developed into root is called taproot system. It present in the dicotyledons. And secondary growth is absent in the monocotyledon, and secondary growth is present in the dicotyledons. These are the diversitical characters of the dicotyledons, monocotyledons. It is the complete plant diversity. Based on these diversitical characters, we can easily identify which are the caurophysians, which are the bryophytes, which are the pteridophytes, which are the gymnosperms, which are the angiosperms, and from that angiosperms, which are the dicotyledons, what are the monocotyledons. Based on these diversitical characters, we can easily find the plants in the environment.